Hello friends, it's me Georgina Wonder with another video. This time I want to use this video to tell you about the books that I read and I'm reading to learn more about Hekate. And there's some people that I follow that have contributed to my education about Hekate and how to worship her the right way, like in ancient times. So what I'm going to tell you guys is about the books that I have read that have educated me more into how to understand and get to know my goddess Hekate. So the first person that I'm going to mention is Sorita Dieste. Sorita Dieste is she's a writer, a researcher who lives and works in Glastonbury in UK. She lives in England, and she is the founder of the Covenant of Hekate, which is an online community that centralizes in getting to know and worship and do devotional and stuff of Hekate, the goddess of the crossroads. And because Sorita Dieste, she is a priestess of Hekate, and she's also traveled all over the world to the sacred sites, the sacred ancient sites of the ancient world, and she has studied and asked the locals about the traditions behind the sites and stuff like that. And so she had read books about her research, and one of those books is The Circle of Hekate. Hekate Circle, I think it's called. And that book was essential for me to learn more about the origins of Hekate, and it's very interesting. She believes in this book, she talks about how the Minoans, which is the first civilization who was part of Greece, like those were the first Greeks, the Minoans. And so the Minoans used to believe in the snake goddess, and Hekate is associated with snakes, and because of that, she believed that maybe Hekate derived from this ancient goddess that the Minoans used to worship. And so it's just very interesting. This is one of the books that I recommend from her. She also wrote, I'm sorry, I'm going through them. I don't have them all right here. This is her recent book that she put together. It's called The Many Gods Anthologies, Hekate, Volume 1. And here it talks about many people, many devotees of Hekate has written essays here concerning Hekate and how they worship Hekate, like in Northern Europe. And like these are modern practitioners who are part of our community, the Covenant of Hekate, and there are also colleagues of Sorita, and she have asked them to write here a lot of what they do with Hekate. And so it's very interesting because to learn about the different ways that people had incorporated not doctrine, in a way doctrine and devotional and ancient ways of worshiping the gods of old. And so they incorporated all that with modern techniques, like not modern techniques, like modern beliefs. Like, for example, some have incorporated some Catholicism into the worship of Hekate, or uh, you know what I mean. So it's just very interesting how uh, this group of people have shared their knowledge of Hecate and how they have, through the years, experienced Hecate. For example, there's a title here called Hecate's Dreams and Oracles. And so she proceeded to talk about how you can work with Hecate in dreams. What are the meanings of dream paralysis? And because it could be a sort of message that Hecate is giving you if you have a dream paralysis, like things like that. So so this book is very good for people that are starting out with their path with Hecate, to learn how they can work with Hecate in many ways. And so whatever book she has read that is very interesting. She did recommend a book called Hekate's, which is a book, I think it was written in the 70s. And it is by, I'm going to tell you right now, the book that she have written, Circle for Hecate, Hecate Liminal Rites, Artemis, Virgin Goddess of the Sun and Moon. And the one that I was going to tell you that she recommends that is really, really good is Hekate's by Sarah Eels Johnson. That book really talks about Hecate's, which is from the Chaldean oracles. I have the book right here. This book is essential. I mean, you don't have to, I don't have it here. I'm sorry, I thought I did. You don't have to read it, but you should read it. It's the Chaldean oracles. It's a book of different hymns that talk, has a little story about the ancient gods, and Hecate is featured in this book as Soteira, which is the savior, because Hecate has many aspects of herself. She is Chthonian, which is from the underworld, and she's also, you know, a savior. She's a mother. Like they looked at her as a mother of all souls. That's how Hecate is perceived. And it's sort of like a Sophia, because Sophia in ancient times, to the Gnostics, used to believe in a Sophia, which was a goddess that was the mother of all souls. And then there was this God, the Father, then is Sophia, and then is Jesus Christ and many other different gods, because this is how the first Christians started Christianity. It was sort of like moving away from paganism, because since Greece has so much influence in ancient times, you know, they conquered a lot of countries thanks to Alexander the Great. So those are the books that you can find for Sorita Diaz. I'm probably going to put the image of the books here so you know where to go. And if you want to go to Sorita Diaz's website to learn more about her, I'm going to link her website in the bottom, soritadiaz.com. And then, okay, the next one is Cindy Brannan's, a really good book for beginners. It's called Keeping Her Keys, is the name of her first book that she wrote about Hecate and devotion to Hecate. And there you find spells, you find devotionals for Hecate on the Deipnon and Numania. She explained what Numania, Sorita Diaz also does that, the same thing. But Cindy, in this book, she completely is about learning about Hecate, learning how to worship her, learning how to talk to her. Her different epithets are mentioned in this book. So this book is really good for beginners learning about Hecate. And also entering Hecate's garden, which is the one that she wrote before this one. This is entering Hecate's cave. So the entering the Hecate's goddess is more about learning about the pharmakia part of Hecate. Pharmakia is pharmacy. It comes from the word pharmacy, and pharmacy back then was plants medicine. And so Hecate is very knowledgeable, and she has the power of pharmakia. She can help the priestess make concoctions about poisons, about different things to save life, to transform people into bees, to curse, to hex, to all that stuff you can do with Hecate in entering Hecate's garden. There's you can work with Hecate and plants in so many different ways, and it's just wonderful. It's beautiful, and this is why I love plants. I love those are one of the key elements of knowing that Hecate wants to work with you. If you really love plants and you are curious about what plants benefits are, what can do for stress, or for to sleep, to induce dreams, like it's all in that book, Entering Goddess Hecate. And also Entering Hecate's Cave is mostly about shadow work. Hecate, to work with Hecate, you have to willing to do a lot of shadow work, because this is how she's going to cleanse your life. This is how she's going to change your life when you walk with her. When you walk with her, you have to work in your shadow, and you have to work with your shadow. You have to learn how to love yourself. You have to know, because that's how you induce your power, by loving and knowing yourself and who you are, and embracing all your negative aspects of you, like embracing them and acknowledge them, not embracing them in a way that you will go back to that. No, it's just acknowledging that you went through that, and through going through this process of shadow work, you become a better person, a better witch, a better devotee, a better human overall. And so Cindy Brannan is a psychologist, a spiritualist, and traditional wisdom, merging ancient knowledge with modern practices. She has a website that you can go to, and it's called keepingherkeys.com, and I'm going to link that in the description box so you guys know and go to her website. I also have learned from Jason Miller. Jason Miller is a sorceress. It's a sorcerer. He's a sorcerer, and he's also been all over the world. It's very educational to travel to other countries and learn their costumes and their beliefs. And if tombs, like sacred places, are being part of these countries, they're also a story behind that with the locals. And to learn those things, it gives you a lot of knowledge. It's like an education, and it's like a college degree course that you've taken. So also Jason Miller has been to many places all over the world. He has studied many different traditions and religions that he has incorporated into learning about Hecate. He does have a course called I think it's called The Sorcery of Hecate. The Sorcery of Hecate, yes, it's written here. The Sorcery of Hecate, and it's, I think, a 3 months course, and it's all the information is in his website, which is strategicsorcery.net. strategicsorcery.net. I'm going to link it in the bottom, so in the description box. And then so he has devoted 30 years studying practical magic in its many forms. He's written 5 books, including the now classic Protection and Removal Magic. That book I read. There's other books he has that are very, 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 very good that I probably just put here so you guys can see. The Protection and Reversal Magic is very, very good. It tells you, it gives you a lot of spells that you can use to protect yourself, to hex others, to do reversal spells when you feel like someone is attacking you and things like that. Like, also, if you have summoned demons and stuff like that and they don't want to leave, there's a spell there that you can use for that. So that's Jason. Hello friends, I'm sorry I came up like this in the video, but what happened was that I forgot to tell you that I did take a Jason Miller course, and this is the story. I knew that he was doing scholarships, like she was giving the opportunity for people who can afford his courses. He would give it a course for free. So I reached out to him and sent him an email, and I asked him for a scholarship on his Sorcery of Hecate course, because he has 3 tiers of the course, like Sorcery of Hecate 1, 2, and 3. So I was hoping to take Sorcery of Hecate 1, but I think of course accidentally he sent me Sorcery of Hecate 3, and I still took it because I just felt kind of like a burden if I would tell him he sent me the wrong course, or maybe he did not send me the wrong course. He just sent me the one maybe he thought I could take. I don't know. So I just didn't. I just felt like he was too busy to take time to address me or whatever. So, and I was grateful that he sent me at least something, you know, like he sent me. So he sent me by email the Sorcerer of Hecate 3. So, and I took it. I felt confident to take it because I have already taken Jack Grail's course, and I had already been part of the Covenant of Hecate website with Sorita Diaz, and I've been reading the Hekatean, and I was doing a lot of work with Hecate, and also I was reading a lot of literature concerning ancient Greece and the myth connected to Hecate. And so I felt confident to take the Sorcerer of Hecate 3, and I took it and I went through it, and it was wonderful. I got to work with the Grey, which are the witches who share one eye. I work with them. There's spells to work with them. Also spells to work with the Gorgons, Medusa, and her 2 sisters. You also get to do a lot of work with Hecate, of course, and her different epithets, aspects of her, like especially the Chthonian deities, because Hecate is very heavily connected to the underworld, because she has to help Persephone. She has to guide Persephone in and out of the underworld. It's one of her duties that she agreed to do with Demeter. And there's many other things that he also in the strategic the Sorcery of Hecate course, you also get to work with the Moidai, which is the Fates. You get to work, oh my God, it's so many. It's a very rich course, and it's a wonderful course. And I don't know if he's still offering a scholarship. I think he always does. So maybe, you know, stay in touch with his, you know, website and his Facebook groups. I think his Facebook groups are private. I'm not sure, but he's always, announcing when he's going to do a scholarship or like, and so does Jack Grail. He does do that too. And he also has given away the Hekatean. And so they're very good with that stuff. And so this is all I wanted to say. Thank you. Sorry. Blessed be. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is Jack Grail. His course on Hekate is called Hail Hekate, Walking the Fork Path. That course changed my life. With Hekate, it gave me such a connection, such a strong connection with Hekate after I did this course. I recommend it 100% to take it because he is a wonderful teacher. All of these authors that I have mentioned here, they are all wonderful teachers that they will give you something new for you to use in your practice with Hekate. And they have, all of them have books. Jack Grail has the famous Hekatean. I have the first edition because now there's like 3 different types of the same book, but it's the other ones have added more chapters and more pictures and stuff, and it's bigger. And I mean, I love this one. I you could see it's all like, because I've been using it all the time. I go to it all the time. Right now I'm in book 2. I haven't done the whole thing because it's sort of like a devotional to Hekate. It's like an initiation, a self-initiation ritual that you have to do to get to know Hekate more also, and to establish a bond, a deep bond with the goddess Hekate, the Titanic. Also, he emphasized a lot of Hekate's Titanic aspect, because Hekate is a Titan goddess first, then she becomes part of the Greek pantheon, Greek mythology. But before that, she was a Titan goddess, and her parents are Asteria and Perseus, and they're also Titan gods. As it is written, Zeus liked Hekate, even though she was a Titan goddess, because Zeus fought the Titans and he won. That's why the 12 Olympian gods rise to rule, because of Zeus defeating Cronus. And then Hekate also have the keys of Tartarus, where Cronus is, and other Titan gods are jailed. So she holds the keys to Tartarus as well. She has a copy of the keys. So anyway, so the Hekatean is expensive. The course is also expensive, but it's so worth it that you do this. It's so worth it because it's just gonna strengthen your relationship with Hekate. You're gonna feel her in your life. You're gonna experience her in your life, and it's just beautiful. And so his courses are in the Blackthorn School, which is a website. Also sort of like the Covenant of Hekate, but it's more like it's a school that you have. It's a sort of like a private school. The Covenant of Hekate is a private school too, but you don't have to pay to be part of the Covenant of Hekate. Here, to be part of Grail's circle, you have to pay for his course and buy his book, and it's kind of like the same thing, but it's not like a community based website like it is in the Covenant of Hekate, which is with Sorita Dieste. But there's the Blackthorn School has many different courses that you can take in many different traditions with many different authors and practitioners who are experts in different magic, in, like traditional magic. I've seen tarot classes. I've seen hoodoo and voodoo and root work classes. I've seen Jack Grill also has another. He has another course that is the PGM Praxis. He has one PGM Praxis 1, and the new one is PGM Praxis 2, and he uses the magical papyri. This is another book that you should have if you learning about Hekate and you want to work with the Greek and Egyptian gods. There's spells here. These are spells that the ancient people used to, that they have found from ancient people in tombs and stuff like that, with archaeologists have found, and they have written into this whole book. I think a philosopher back in ancient times wrote this. I'm not sure. And this is like a modern version of his book, but I am not sure. Don't quote me on that. But there's all kinds of spells and how to, and devotionals to the gods that the ancient people used to do. The way that they used to do it is described here, you know, and so Jack Grail has a course on this, using this book, and so it's 50 lessons for 50 days, something like that. No, 50 rides for 50 nights. And that's the PGM Praxis. The PGM Praxis 2 is called The Kingdom. So I'm not familiar with that one yet. I am familiar with the PGM Praxis 1 because he was talking about it when I was taking his courses. And whenever he has a Zoom call, he talks about how it is and stuff like that. So I know because of him and how he describes the course. And it's supposed to be a really great course to take because it will connect you with the witch inside of you. Like, it will help you develop your magic. The PGM Praxis, it's supposed to develop your power as a witch, as a sorceress, as a sorcerer, and in the occult. Like, all these people are occultists. Sorita is an occultist. Cindy Brannon. Well, Cindy Brannon doesn't. She talks about occultism, and Jason Miller definitely is an occultist. And so, another book that I love is fictional, but it is based on the Greek mythology of Medea. Is this book is by Rosie Hewlett. Rosie Hewlett. It's a new book. It's a new retelling of the story of Medea, and the way that she tells the story of Medea, which is like the Argonauts, incorporating the Argonauts in here, is so amazing. It's so beautiful. It's an easy read, but it's a beautiful read. And it mentions Hekate, of course, because Medea, as you know, was a priestess of Hekate. She used to work with Hekate mostly. It was Hekate that she will reach out to do her spells and help Jason and the Argonauts conquer, like, the dragon and the golden sleeve, to get the golden sleeve, because Jason was obsessed with becoming a king, because he was robbed of his kingdom when he was a kid, I think, because his parents were king and queen of where he was from. I forgot the name. Colchis? No, Colchis is where Medea lives. Is from Colchis. Is Colchis? Colchi was where Medea was from. So in ancient times, Colchi was a foreign country. So she was a foreigner who was worshiping a foreigner goddess, because Hekate, even though she is in the Greek pantheon and Greek mythology, she is considered a foreign goddess. This is why Sorita says that she might be, her beginnings must be from Crete, from the Minoans. So it originated from Crete, and then it passed on to probably Colchi, and so they incorporated her into this goddess of liminality, because she was a Titan goddess. So, because I think in the Orphic hymn is where, this is another book that you need to, I have two versions of it. This is another book that you should have, because it contains, can you see it? It contains hymns of Hecate. Hymns of Hecate. Contains hymns of Hecate and all the other gods: Persephone, Demeter, Hades, Hermes, Zeus, Hera, all of them. They're here, and there are different hymns for all of them, and for their different epithets, different aspects of them. So, and then there's this other book that I just recently got. I haven't read this book yet, but it's more like the black, it works with the black arts, because Hecate is the goddess of magic, and magic doesn't have, it's not good or bad. You can describe magic as good or bad, and this thing about white and black magic is kind of like ridiculous, because magic is everything, just like the goddess are everything. They're good, they're bad, they're neutral. Magic is the same way, good, bad, and neutral. This is how magic is. Witchcraft is this way, is raw, and it is realistic. And if you're gonna become a witch, you have to understand that this is how magic is, and this is how witchcraft works, and you have to embrace everything. So, but you don't have to do, black magic. You don't have to, but it's good to learn. It's good to know about how to counteract a hex, to protect yourself from black magic. Like, it's all in this book. I haven't read hardly anything. I read the beginning. I think I'm in this. That's why this is here. I'm in page 76, which is not that much, because this is like a almost 300 pages book, 189 pages. So it's by Michael W. Ford, and you can find this book in Luciferian Apothecary. This is where you can find the book. I was using this as a bookmark. Now I think it says 79 or 72. So this is the website where you can find this book. These are basically the books that I have. There's so many books right now on Hecate that you can get. Just Google Hecate and you will see books of Hecate. Amazon will have them all. And but these are the people that have influenced a lot of knowledge into my life, that I wanted to mention and thank for giving me all this connection and knowledge with my goddess Hecate. My devotion to Hecate has become really strong after experiencing these authors and priests and priestesses of Hecate, because in a way they are. And I recommend them to all of you. who are interested in learning about Hecate and how powerful this deity is, to get to know how powerful she is, her history. She's ancient, and she's been linked to many different traditions. She's been all over Europe. They had found traces of Hecate called all over Europe, and even in Egypt. And because the Greek magical papyri has incantations and spells from Egypt that work with Hecate. So yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. Sorry if I startle a lot. I think in Spanish and in English. Sometimes I know the words in English, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I know the words in Spanish, but I don't know them in English, like that. So it's hard for me to communicate my ideas and my extrapolate what I'm trying to say. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very helpful to you. And yeah, hail Hecate. I'm gonna light up her candle to thank her for guiding me to this video. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.